evening, judges. A federation is a political entity made up of separate states or regions in such a way that each member retains the management of its internal affairs. Nigeria is not a federation by accident. It is so because we have diverse people with different ethnic and religious backgrounds. And federalism is a political system that accommodates this diversity. Currently, 28 countries, making up 40% of the world's policy, run this form of government. A general sense of belonging and inclusion is vital to our survival as a nation. This is why the Nigerian Constitution describes the federal character principle in its section 14. This principle is about the inclusion of all regions of the country in the allocation of public office, and its political name is zoning or power rotation. A notable example of its successful application is Switzerland, where the presidency rotates among the various ethnic groups, and consequently, they are one of the most stable and prosperous governments in the world. A well-structured rotational system of government in Nigeria could be so successful as to serve as a model for other heterogeneous African countries trying to face the challenges of nationhood. Let us also note that if we were to say no to power rotation, it means that the President, the Vice President, the Senate President, and the Speaker of the House of Assembly could all come from the same geopolitical zone. Ordinarily, this shouldn't be a problem. But is the Nigeria of today truly ready for this? I think we can all agree that our current level of development, power rotation is at the epicenter of our national stability. Thank you.
Your basic point was that power rotation gives national stability. That was all you said, right? And you used Switzerland as an example of a country who, because it uses this system of government, is stable. I put it to you that Switzerland might be stable for other reasons.
Every time elections are held, regardless of the fairness and transparency and all of that, there will still be some sort of rancor from some side or the other. But if we decide to use power rotation, everybody would be at peace, knowing that eventually, if things go according to order, their zone will be recognized. Now, Switzerland is a good example of this rotation, and I believe because they have multiple ethnicities, and I believe that if we could just all form a consensus in this country and just agree to a form of rotation, there are currently 6 geopolitical zones. If we stick to that arrangement, Nigeria is such a country that there is no geopolitical zone that cannot produce at least 100 competent people.
Thank you.
Yes. It all begins with us. As the future of this nation, we must bring ourselves to, first of all, accept the fact that this is the country we have been born in, and that's the way it's going to be. So we better decide to begin to move it forward from now, not tomorrow, not next year, right now. We must decide to refuse to be manipulated into violence during elections. We must refuse to accept mediocrity from the previous generation. We must refuse to accept defeat. We must take our nation from the hands of those who have decided that it must die and stand for the fact that it must live. When we all put it in our hearts that this country will move forward in only one way, democracy, through electing credible leaders, then we will go to the polls and elect only people who have proven their mettle. This way, our country will move forward, slowly, steadily, but surely. Thank you.